I am meeting my husband for an early dinner, and I have a little bit of time to kill before he gets out this way. And so I'm going to go shopping at Barnes & Noble. I'm going to take you with me. Here we go. Well, escalator going up is not working. We'll have to take the elevator. I always say I'm never going to buy any books until I read everything, but every time I come in here I'm so tempted. There's so many good looking things I want to read. Interesting. What is this? Oh, they have some that are 50% off. Mix and match. Ooh, I'm going to be looking over here for a little bit. Found another table with more buy one get one 50% off, so yeah, I'm gonna be looking around for a little bit. I already found like 2 books I wanted, so before I even got to this table, so now I've got to look through here and make sure there's nothing else. Yes, I got a big heavy bag full of books that I swore I wasn't gonna buy more of, but it is just too much of a temptation when you're in there. Plus they, as you probably saw in the footage, they had a buy one get one 50% off, which I only got 1 set of those. I ended up spending full price on 3 of the books, but I just couldn't help myself. So I'll probably share them with you later when I get home, or maybe tomorrow. All right, so I will share the books with you that I picked up at Barnes & Noble. This first one, it was one of the ones that was buy one get one 50% off, and it is called The Only Survivors by Megan Miranda. So this says, "Will keep you up well past your bedtime, E-News. A decade ago, 2 vans filled with high school seniors on a school service trip crashed into a Tennessee ravine. Only 9 survived. A year later, after one of the survivors dies by suicide on the anniversary of the crash, the rest of them make a pact to come together each year to commemorate that terrible night. But by the 10th anniversary, Cassidy Bent has distanced herself from the tragedy. This year, she's determined to finally break ties with the group once and for all. But when Cassidy receives an anonymous text with the obituary of one survivor, she finds herself going to the reunion once more. Tensions immediately run high, and with the storm approaching, the group finds itself facing the threat of closing roads and surging waters again. When another survivor suddenly disappears, Cassidy begins to wonder if something stronger than survivor's guilt has drawn them back together. A propulsive and chilling locked box mystery filled with the dazzling hairpin twists that are the author's signature. The Only Survivors is the New York Times best-selling author Megan Miranda's best novel yet. All right, this next book was one I got for half off. It is The House in the Pines by Anna Reyes. Maya was a young high school senior when her best friend Aubrey dropped dead in front of the enigmatic man named Frank, whom they'd been spending time with all summer. 7 years later, Maya lives in Boston with a loving boyfriend and is kicking the secret addiction that has allowed her to cope with what happened years ago, the gaps in her memories, and the lost time that she can't account for. But her past comes rushing back when she runs across a recent YouTube video in which a young woman suddenly keels over and dies in a diner while sitting across from none other than Frank.
Plunged into the trauma that has defined her life, Maya heads to her Brookshire's hometown to relive that fateful summer, the influence Frank once had on her, and the obsessive jealousy that nearly destroyed her friendship with Aubrey. At her mother's house, she excavates fragments of her past and notices hidden messages in her deceased Guatemalan father's book that didn't stand out to her earlier. To save herself, she must understand a story written before she was born, but time keeps running out, and soon all roads leading back to Frank's cabin.
All right, this next one is called It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. The colors really attracted me to this book. I was like, oh, let me see what this is about. Plus, there's a sticker on it that says soon to be a major motion picture. So I was curious, so I read the back, and I liked the story. So let's read the back. Sometimes the one who loves you is the one who hurts you the most. Lily hasn't always had it easy, but that's never stopped her from working hard for the life she wants. She's come a long way from the small town in Maine where she grew up. She graduated from college, moved to Boston, and started her own business. So when she feels a spark with a gorgeous neurosurgeon named Ryle Kincaid, everything in Lily's life suddenly seems almost too good to be true. Ryle is assertive, stubborn, maybe even a little arrogant. He's also sensitive, brilliant, and has a total soft spot for Lily. But Ryle's complete aversion to relationships is disturbing. As questions about her new relationship overwhelm her, so do thoughts of Atlas Corrigan, her first love, and a link to the past she left behind. He was her kindred spirit, her protector. When Atlas suddenly reappears, everything Lily has built with Ryle is threatened. With this bold and deep personal love, Colleen Hoover delivers a heart-wrenching story that breaks exciting new ground for her as a writer. It Ends With Us is an unforgettable tale of love that comes at an ultimate price. So here's the thing. After reading this, I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. There's some other books here by the same author. Let me check these out. And so I started to get this. I picked up another book, which I'll show you right now. So let's move this one aside. And again, a nice color scheme. And it says, every ending has a beginning. And it's very confusing because I'm going to give you a spoiler now. This is going to spoil the end of the other book. I was like, oh my gosh, so now I know what happens. And that kind of almost ruined it for me. But I still bought the book anyway, because the other book, because I was like, oh, I really want to read this story. So let's flip over. And again, major spoiler alert. So here we go. Okay, so here it goes. Before it ends with us, it started with Atlas. Now remember, Atlas is the boyfriend from the past in the first book. Lily and Ryle have just settled into a civil co-parenting rhythm with their daughter Emerson when Lily suddenly runs into Atlas nearly 2 years after they last spoke. Elated that the timing finally seems to be right to give them what they have together a real chance, Atlas asks Lily on a date. But Lily's excitement is almost immediately replaced by dread and anxiety when Lily remembers that Ryle, though no longer her husband, is still very much a part of her life. And though Ryle would dislike Lily dating anyone but him, Atlas Corrigan is the one man he absolutely will not stand having in his ex-wife and daughter's lives. Told from the perspectives of Lily and Atlas, It Starts With Us gives readers a deep look into Atlas' past as he and Lily reconnect and rekindle the love they shared as teenagers while navigating a volatile ex-husband who believes Atlas to be one of the reasons his marriage with Lily ended. It Starts With Us picks up right where the epilogue for the glorious and touching USA Today, It Ends With Us, left off, giving readers the exhilarating sequel to Colleen's best-selling phenomenon that they have begged for. And again, I bought this because I don't like it when I really get into an author's story and book, and then I'm like, oh, they have other books. Now I got to try to go find them somewhere. And I just immediately wanted to get these two. Although I paid full price for them, I just had to get this story because, like I said, I really thought I'm going to enjoy this full storyline. So that's why I picked that one up. Now I have one last one I'm going to share with you. Now, I don't want to say I saved the best for last because I think they're all wonderful books, but I saved the Disney one for last. So I picked up another Twisted Tales book. This is the third one. I've only read the Cinderella one. I have the Peter Pan one to read still, and now I have this one. But the reason I picked this one up, which is called What Once Was Mine, What If Rapunzel's Mother Drank a Potion from the Wrong Flower? Now, don't laugh, but if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I'm kind of behind on watching a lot of the Disney movies, a lot of the, not just the live action ones, but a lot of the, I don't know what the best word to call them is, the cartoon versions, but they're, you know, Disney movies, Disney films. So anyway, I literally just watched the Rapunzel story, which is, Tangled. I had to think of the name of it for a second. I literally just watched that movie like 2 weeks ago for the first time ever. And I really liked it. And now so much of what I see in the park and in the parades and everything that has to do with the movie Tangled, it so makes sense now. So anyway, I really enjoyed the movie and the story. And so I saw this one and I was like, oh, I don't have, you know, I only have the first couple, and I really enjoyed that Cinderella one. I'm sure I'm going to love the Peter Pan one. And they have a few other ones out. The only other one that I have seen the movie on that I probably would want to get is the one about Ursula. And then the other ones, there were a couple other that I haven't seen the movies to at all. So I was like, I don't know if I want to invest in those. But anyhow, so let me, look at how beautiful, first of all, this cover is with Rapunzel in the tower, and her hair kind of comes all the way down here around and all the way to the bottom with the lantern picture. This is just a beautiful cover. So, oh, I'll have to open up the inside to read the story. So let me get that ready here. Okay, I'm just going to read the inside cover here. I just took it off the book to make it easier. What if Rapunzel's mother drank a potion from the wrong flower? Desperate to save the life of their queen and her unborn child, the good citizens of the kingdom comb the land for the all-healing sundrop flower to cure her. But someone mistakenly picks the blossom of the moon drop instead. This shimmering flower heals the queen, and she delivers a healthy baby girl with hair as silver and shining as the moon. But along with her mysterious hair comes dangerous magical powers. The power to hurt, not heal. For the safety of the kingdom, Rapunzel is locked away in a tower and put under the care of the powerful good wife, Mother Gothel. For 19 years, Rapunzel stays imprisoned in her tower, knowing she must protect everyone from her magical hair. When she finally decides to leave the only home she's ever known to see the floating lights that appear on her birthday, she gets caught up in an unexpected adventure with two thieves, a would-be outlaw named Gina, and Flynn Rider, a rogue on the run. Before she can reach her happy ending, Rapunzel learns that there is far more to her story, her magical hair, and her future than she ever knew. So I am really excited about reading this book, and I loved, because I knew the story and had seen the movie recently, I know some of these details about what happened and how I'm reading this recap, and it had so many little like nods to it, but also kind of veered to a different story, a twisted tale, right? So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. So that is it for the books that I picked up.
Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
And perhaps some